Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy Akeen and welcome to today's vlog. Here to give you some quick fantasy football tips for tonight's matchup between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm here to talk about fantasy football and players that you should start and bench for tonight's matchup. Now, starting for the Houston Texans, there's only one player that you should start for this game representing out of the Texans, and that is running back Arian Foster. Now, he's coming off a brilliant performance, 157 yards and 2 scores this past Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he's going to have a good game against this Colts team because he does a great job overall against Colts throughout his entire career, particularly with his breaking out season years ago. In his first game in that season, he played against the Indianapolis Colts. I believe he rushed for over 200 yards in that matchup, and I think because of that, he should be due for a good performance. Plus, the Indianapolis Colts average 4.6 yards allowed per carry. That's actually 25th in the league. I think that Foster would do good in leading that ground attack for the Houston Texans. Now, for wide receivers Andre Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins, I think you should bench both these players because Indianapolis does a pretty good job against wide receivers. They're actually allowing the second fewest points in fantasy play against wide receivers. So I think you should bench both Andre Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, if you had to choose between the two players, I would go with DeAndre Hopkins because he is leading all receivers in his team in fantasy points. So if you had to choose between Hopkins or Johnson, go right ahead and go with Hopkins. But I strongly suggest you guys just to bench him this week against that Colts defense, even though the game is at home in Houston. Now, headed over to Indianapolis' side, you should definitely go right ahead and start Andrew Luck. He should do a good job throwing the football, as well as receiver T.Y. Hilton. Now, he does not have any receiving touchdowns so far this season, but he is within the top 10 in receiving yards this year in the National Football League. I think he could have a good game, and I believe that this will be his first game where he will have at least one touchdown reception. I really believe this will be the game where he will get his first touchdown reception against this Houston defense. Now, running back Trent Richardson, I think you should bench him this week because of J.J. Watt and that defensive line for the Texans. I don't think that Richardson nor Ahmad Bradshaw will have a good performance in this matchup. I think you should bench both of these two players. Now, talking about both defenses, I'm not really fit about both of these defenses. I don't think you should start either of them. If you had to choose between the two, I would go with the Colts defense over the Texans defense. Despite the fact that the game is at Houston, I would go with the Colts defense because of the passing attack of Houston has not really been playing up to par what you've been looking for with Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm at quarterback. So that wraps things up for today. The next time I'm going to catch you guys will be on Saturday, where I will talk about all the remaining players that you should start and bench for week 6 of the NFL season. Thank you for watching today's vlog from the Football Source. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.